Welcome to Power Code Music. Today we're going to talk about the Behringer VIRTUALIZER 3D FX2000 multi-effects processor and why I use it. I needed a robust and advanced multi-effects processor for my final mixdowns and mastering. After researching several units, within my price range, the Behringer FX2000 looked like a pretty good option. After finding a used one on eBay for around $125 in great condition, I decided to give it a go. I had nothing to lose because used units generally in this realm sound just as good as new ones. The bottom line here is this device far exceeded my expectations. It kind of blew my mind. The FX2000 uses Behringer's RSM or real sound modeling technology to simulate acoustic environments. And this thing does this very well. Effects include things like modulation, amp simulation, distortion, and special effects, as well as dynamic and psychoacoustics processing. The unit also features both high and low EQ and wave adaptable virtual room reverbs. Very cool function. The parameters on the front of the unit are grouped together logically along with a mixture of encoders, buttons, LED meters, and a big LED display. Also, users can edit up to 7 parameters per preset and save them into 100 different user memory locations. One cool thing I love is the FX2000 features MIDI capability, so you can control the unit externally as well as save all of your data via MIDI system exclusive. Features include 71 algorithms with RSM, real sound modeling, stereo, and 3D effects. Wave adaptable virtual room reverb algorithms for a more natural sounding reverb and delay. Modulation, dynamic, psychoacoustic, and EQ algorithms. Amp simulations, distortions, and special effects. 11 effect combinations with selectable serial parallel configuration. Up to 7 adjustable parameters plus 2-band EQ per effect. 24-bit AD and DA converters with 64 by 128 times oversampling. Hell yeah! True stereo processing for realistic channel separation in the stereo image. Extensive MIDI implementation. LED level meters for level setting and optimum performance. Let's move on to the technical specifications. The processor type is a multi-effects processor. It has 2 channels. The unit has 100 factory presets and 100 user presets. Regarding analog inputs, there are 2 XLR and 2 1/4-inch. For analog outputs, there are 2 XLR and 2 1/4-inch. MIDI ins and outs consist of an in, out, and through. The unit in rack spaces is 1 unit. The height is 1.75 inches. The width is 19 inches. The depth is 8 inches. And the unit weighs 4.5 pounds. Let's move on to using the FX2000 and how the unit works. The unit's front panel includes 5 edit controls, a jog wheel, 6 parameter keys, an LED display, and a main switch. The 2 independent channels can be monitored with an 8-digit LED meter. In the display area, both the LED chains displays the level of the input signal in decibels in relation to the nominal level, which is selected on the rear panel with the operating level switch. After turning on the unit, the name of the last effect is always displayed on the LED. When editing, the LED display shows the parameter's name along with a 4-digit alphanumeric display that shows the absolute parameter's value. Also in the display area to the right of the LED display are 4 status LEDs. These indicate the type of value you are working with. With this, you can set the absolute value of an effect parameter in percentages. You can increase or decrease the amplitude or determine the threshold point of the compressor in decibels. Or you can modify a frequency in hertz or a time parameter in seconds. In the display area as well, the algorithm group's LED chain indicates which category the selected effect belongs to. In total, the FX2000 offers 8 different algorithm groups. Every preset in the FX2000 allows you to edit at least 4 effects parameters. The edit LED chain indicates which parameters are adjusted by the 4 edit controls. If the top LED is lit, the first edit control knob controls parameter edit A. The second edit control controls edit B. The third edit control helps in changes of the parameter edit C, and with the fourth edit control you can change the settings of parameter edit D. Now if the middle LED of the edit LED chain is lit, the 4 LED controls modify the parameters that are arranged to the left and right. The lower functions, or should I say the lower LEDs, function in relation to them. With the first edit control, you can change the values of the first edit A control knob and the fifth edit E control knob effect parameters. Now here you can also select MIDI functions with the first edit control. To do this, press the edit key to switch from edit A to edit E and vice versa. You reach the MIDI function by pressing the setup key. The second edit control allows you to modify the values of effects parameters edit B and edit F. When you select the input parameter with the help of the setup key, you can set whether the FX2000 functions in mono or stereo mode. The third edit control modifies the values of effect parameters edit C, the EQ low, and the global output parameter. Here you can also select among them using the edit and setup keys. With the fourth edit control, you modify the values of effect parameters edit D, EQ high, and the global parameter config. Use the edit and setup keys to choose between the parameters. Now here's a point of note. During editing, you can rotate one of the 4 controls slightly to display a brief description of the current active parameter. This shows you how, for example, edit A controls the pre-delay for all reverb effects of the unit. After a second, the name is erased and the parameter's current value is displayed. This function can be used only by operating one of the controls that hasn't been selected. By turning the mix bypass control, this affects the levels of most algorithms that can be set, and this ranges from 0 to 100%. If you select 0, the signal at the inputs are transferred directly to the outputs without adding any effects, so this is dry. If you select 100%, only the affected signal is sent to the outputs. This means the signal's wet. Now here's some other points of note. If you use the FX2000 in the aux bus with your mixing console, set its value to 100%. If you're using the FX2000 with a guitar amplifier in a series effects loop, set it between 20% and 50% depending upon your amplifier type. So you're going to have to play with this to get it right. For the effects of parametric and graphic EQ, the mix bypass control allows you to manage the gain. This is important, so keep that in mind. To bypass the FX2000's effects, press the mix bypass control. This allows you to compare between the original and the affected signals. Press the mix bypass control again to deactivate the bypass and return to your chosen effect. When the MIDI in LED below the control flickers, it indicates that the MIDI data is arriving at the MIDI in port. That is, if you have it connected to a MIDI device that's controlling the unit. Both the mix bypass control and the 4 edit controls react dynamically. This means that, depending upon how fast you rotate the wheels, The present parameter is changed. The faster the rotation, the greater the change in the parameter value. Let's look at the preset button. To select one of the 200 presets, press the preset key and then rotate the jog wheel. You'll be able to go through and see all of the presets. Let's move on to the effect button. To select one of the 71 basic effect algorithms, press the effect key once and then rotate the jog wheel. The edit button, let's look at that. To select the edit control function, press the edit key. The store button, let's move on to that. When you make changes to a user preset, the store key's LED begins to blink. The FX2000 has 100 user presets and 100 factory presets. To save your changes, press the store key. Select the storage space number with the jog wheel and confirm it by pressing the store key again. The compare button. If you've made changes to a preset and the LED of the store key is blinking, you can press the compare key to temporarily restore the preset's original settings. While these settings are loaded, the compare key's LED blinks and the comp appears in the LED display. Press the compare key again to return to the edit mode and store your changes. Let's look at the setup button. To enter setup mode, press the setup button. In the setup mode, you can access the parameters that are shown in the 4 edit controls. To change a parameter's value, rotate the jog wheel. To increase, turn clockwise. To decrease, turn counterclockwise. It's pretty straightforward. If none of the edit functions are selected, you can select the program directly with the jog wheel. If you do, a spot lights up in the LED display. As long as that spot is lit, a program can be selected without making the corresponding settings immediately audible. This brief signal suppression means that during a quick selection of the preset with the jog wheel, not every preset is activated directly. If the jog wheel is not turned for a second, the spot in the LED display disappears and the program is then loaded. The power switch, of course, turns on the unit, and the power switch should always be off when you are about to connect your unit to the mains. Pretty simple stuff. On the back of the unit, we did talk about this during our technical specifications, but we do want to look at the switch that you can use on the back of the unit that will allow you to switch between a negative 10 dBV, which is the home recording level, and the +4 dBu, which is the professional studio level. In order to switch between the two, you're going to use the operating level switch. This is on the back of the unit. When you switch between the two, the level displays are changed to the nominal level, and then the unit, of course, if you switch it to the +4, the unit operates in its optimal range.
Now, let's take a look at some of the effects in the unit. The FX2000 has the following effects groups. The first is reverbs and delays. Now check out the presets on the screen. This gives you an idea of what this particular group is comprised of. It's pretty interesting, pretty standard. The next group is modulation and pitch shifters. And on the screen now, you get a quick glance at some of the effects that make up this specific group. Next is dynamic, psychoacoustic, filters, and EQ. Now in this list, pretty interesting, gives you an idea of the personality makeup of this particular group. Last but not least is the distortion and amp simulation, special effects, and effects combinations group. Here you get to check out a quick list of what makes this group what it is. To summarize all of this, the bottom line is it doesn't matter to me at all how anyone else feels about the FX2000. With its powerful processing and diverse array of features, it quickly became an important tool in my studio's post-production and mastering chain. Last but not least, the FX2000 sounds amazing, and its price is also a winner.
Well, that's it for today. If you like this video, please give it the thumbs up and click the subscribe button on your screen now to join our group. We have new videos coming out every 7 to 10 days, and we would love to have you be a part of our team. Also, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Leave a comment in the comment section below and let us know what you think about this video. Also, while you're here, check out some of the other videos, the playlist, listen to the music, and let us know what you think about that too. That's important to us. Thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you soon.